What's up, traders? How's everybody doing today? Today is Saturday. It's the 13th of February. We're going to do the crypto weekly outlook. Excuse me. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. This is the Coinbase data feed. I do have the data feed from Kraken as well, but we're going to take a look at the this one first because you can see where price has been caught. It's actually from an hourly market structure level. It was this one right here. If you could just let me know in the... All right, never mind. My assistant let me know. So everybody's good. You can see my screen. You can hear my words. So basically this hourly structure right here is just this bearish candle on an hourly closing basis. This is what has caught Bitcoin both attempts to trade lower than this run up. All right. So basically when we had the big surge up, we consolidated, dropped out of that consolidation for a little while, and then went back up above it. This is bullish. You know what I mean? You for this just to pull back like that and then jump right back up, basically you have taken back that level. So when you lose a level, if the bears are in control, when price goes back up to retest that level, we'll call that level this right here for now. All right, we'll just use this last swing low. All right, so when you lost that level, give me 5 seconds. So when you lost that level, all right, if bears are in control of this market, on the instance that we push back up into it, they would sell into it. The aggressiveness would be worse, but you can see that the buyers had more aggressiveness because we reclaimed this level. All right, now since you've reclaimed that swing low, you made this market structure swing high. All right, and it's also a swing low in the price move up. You basically consolidating above that level right now. All right, so this can take time. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies love to consolidate for very long periods of time when they're bullish like this. Basically this looks good. I had a price target of around 56,000. That was just from a measured move from this leg up into this consolidation and another leg up. So that's where I'm looking for this thing to head eventually. I took off that level. Basically, I have all the levels marked on this chart here because this is where all my funds are currently. I still have some funds on Coinbase, but I'm just holding. That's just the hodling funds. These funds over here are tradable funds. And these are all the levels that can possibly have support come into play if Bitcoin does want to get a down leg lower. All right, that first level is 46,350, which is this level here that is currently holding price. That is that hourly market structure. This is another hourly market structure at 44,713.0. And then these three areas down here, which was in the massive run up, this big pop, there was no market structures to get except for on a 1 minute time frame. So those are going to be your areas. If Bitcoin trades back down into there, you will get a bounce from there. How big will the bounce be? I don't know. Nobody knows, but price respects those areas. You can mark my words. If you get down in this area, price will bounce. We got a nice bounce from this area that I put in that was on a 4-hour market structure originally. We got that massive bounce. And then since price traded since then, basically you've made this right here. So this is, you're trading inside of yesterday's range. All right, yesterday's range broke out above the day before's range. The day before's range was a big trending day range candle. So the fact that you are essentially have 2 days, well, this day ends in 3 hours and 55 minutes. You're still trading within the midpoint of this breakout candle. It's still bullish. It's still bullish. Bitcoin has to go like all the way back down below 30 grand before I would even not call it bullish. Or, I mean, even then it's still bullish just before I would maybe stop looking to buy pullbacks. But as long as Bitcoin is extremely bullish like this, pullback entries are the way to go. Stellar, you can see we are just, this thing's been insane the last few days. I don't know what happened. We were trading within a range and then we broke out of that range, and then you got big candle, bigger candle, biggest candle. Hello everybody. Reg the Veg, Patrick Gannon, Brad Mathers, Elias Bargy, everybody, welcome. Glad you could make it. Let me kill that ticker. All right, So basically moving on. So Stellar's moving higher. It is being sold into. You can see on the 4-hour market, or on the 4-hour candles, you're basically creating a pennant pattern, a bull flag, whatever you want to call it. You have a level down here on the 4-hour structure at 0.469114. This level down here has not been tested. If we go into a smaller time frame, you have an hourly candle right here that was tested right here. All right, and you traded away. So you could be just making this lower high here before making a higher high, or this could be the high for now until it finds prices at a lower area where buyers will re-engage the market. All right, so you can basically use this one here. That was that 4-hour market structure. You just pick it up and put it on that candle or that candle. This one's untested. Let's leave it there. 485786 right here. That's going to be my very first area to look for a small bounce if price trades down into that. All right, price trades down into that, you can expect a small bounce. I don't know how big it'll be. It could absolutely turn around right here and migrate away and trade higher. It's bullish and it has broken out. Not much to do on XLM unless you get that pullback. All right, we'll have to wait and see if this was the pullback. If this was the pullback, it's too late. It's too late. I mean, technically, I don't like the way it's shaping out right here, because generally when something breaks out, it trades away from the level. It looks like the bears are trying to reclaim this lower market structure right here put in by this bearish candle. All right, that level is 543329. If you get an hourly closure below here, then you're probably heading lower. As long as you stay above this area, you're going higher. USD has been extremely bullish for the last few days. You can see that we are pulling back now. You have found support right here at 27 spot 582. I had to go all the way into a 5-minute chart to find that one. There it is right there. Let me stretch this out for you so you can see what I do, how I do this price action analysis. You can see this 5-minute bearish candle, right? This was your breakout of price. You consolidated. There was probably an old high here or something for some reason, for whatever reason. Instead of price just moving higher, it consolidated here. You had a 5-minute bearish closing candle. I essentially tacked a line to the opening price of that bearish candle. Now watch what happens when I scroll over here to where current price is. This was your first tackle of that area. You can see there were so many orders sitting there that as soon as price pushed down into that area, got a bounce and you got another bounce. All right. This was consolidation and it traded away, but you're laying on the line now without having any significant bounces, meaning the sellers are probably a little bit more aggressive than the buyers at this point. The fact that it is consolidating on this low level like this without any big massive pops or bounces in price just means that either every person that's buying here is getting sold into harder, so price is not able to migrate away. This is still consolidation on a large time frame, guys. I was just showing you the 5-minute chart just to basically show you why did price stop right here. Okay, that's the only reason I was showing you that. That's the reason why price stopped right there. That was the last closing candle. That's how price acts. It finds areas, finds whether or not there's going to be more aggressive buyers at those areas or more aggressive sellers at those areas. Whichever one of those two is the more aggressive, obviously price will migrate away from the level in the direction of the aggressor. So as of right now, sellers are more aggressive at this 27 spot 582 level, which is okay. If you took a position here like the other day and you've only got this bounce and you're coming back down in to retest it, if you close this 4-hour candle below this market structure here made on a 4-hour basis, you close below that, there's a pretty good chance that you're heading lower on .USD. So way I do this is I go get my last bearish candle on an hourly closing time frame that has not been tested. This is the little joker right here. That price comes in at 26.529. All right, this candle right here. Where is my magnet tool? There we go. 26.499. Apologies. So that's going to be the next area if price is unable to close below here. If price cannot get that closure, that brings more buyers into the mix. Excuse me. And I'll explain why. If price is unable to break and close candles below a specific level, then that will engage new buyers, buyers that like myself, like you, like everybody that's watching the charts 24/7, even algorithms that they're humans that created them don't have to watch price because they are. If they see candles unable to close below, they'll reinitiate new buying positions, which will cause or could cause the aggressiveness of the buyers to be stronger. So just because we're down here and it looks like the sellers are getting more aggressive, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. And any kind of news whatsoever can cause this thing to pop out of here super strong. So just keep your eye on this level first, 27 spot 582. And this is for near term price, guys. Near term price within today or tomorrow's close, 26 spot 499. For the swing traders out there, what I would suggest you do is let price pull back lower. Let price pull back lower all the way down here to this last swing high market structure that was put in on an 8-hour candle basis. All right, so you had 4 sessions traded right here. This was an area. I don't know what, I just messed that line up. It's all right. We'll just put it right back there. So this is where I would look to initiate swing trade entries on the long side, and I would not want any 8-hour closures below that, or at least at the very least below these candles. Any closures below that, price is heading lower. All right, as long as you're getting wicks below it and pushes back above it, that's a good area to look for another bullish push. It has been extremely bullish. You had a bearish engulfing candle right here, and you can see that it was bought right back up into. So the sellers are not in control of this market. Just on the near term, there may be bigger orders resting right up underneath that wick. So just keep an eye on it. Looks like it's getting ready to rip. Algo rant, man, this thing is just, yesterday it blew up. Massive push. You can see where I was watching right here at this 1 spot 0303 level. I was watching that swing high. You got a big breakout above that. You closed super strong. You got one bearish candle out of there, and then see ya. Price was gone. So this is going to be, this level here is also on a smaller time frame. You can see we pushed down into that, and we have since resumed. And you are trying to make a higher push and close. You close above this market structure, and there's nothing to do. Unfortunately, the trade was down here. All right. This up here is not the trade. Now, if you get a breakout above this level and you get a strong push, say up to like 2 spot 1 or 2-0 even, that dead even 2 level will be an area where sellers, I would imagine, would step back in this market. Then you get a consolidation, a trade away. Look for consolidation right at this bearish candle's opening price. That looked to be about 172. All right. But currently that level is holding as resistance. But that's just for right now. It's trading very, very strongly. It's not even really giving any great entries. I mean, I didn't take this trade down here. This was a good trade in hindsight, obviously, but I was watching the area. And at the time, I didn't feel as if though this was a deep enough correction in order to get long. And I missed that. And it's okay. If you're a new trader and you're just getting started, don't worry about missing moves. All right. Don't worry about missing moves. You're going to miss millions of moves in your trading career. Just focus on the ones you can get. Those are the ones that are important. Those are the one that matters. What's up? Tom's in the house. Eric Gustafson, Danny Eyes, everybody, Truth Capital. What's happening? Everybody, Brad Mathers, Patrick Gannon, Reg the Veg, everybody, thank you for showing up. I really appreciate it. No days off. Hell no. Trading these cryptocurrency levels, these things trade 24/7. So there are no days off at all. So getting back into the analysis. Yep, Algorand, nothing to do. I want to see it pull back into this area back at 140 or 1 spot 4054. I would actually like it to pull back all the way down here to this 8-hour market structure right here. This is the one I want. That would be a pretty decent sized pullback. So if bulls are going to get re-engaged in this market down here, be a good spot to do it. You would smoke the liquidity underneath this low. So be a good spot for me to look. Now, I'm not just saying buy long there, guys. When I'm talking about these, excuse me, let me get a drink. When I'm talking about these levels, I just essentially want you to watch them. All right. I know you like watching smaller time frames. Everybody claims to be a swing trader, but yet everybody's always posting pictures of the 5-minute charts. So when price gets down here, if you see price unable to close hourly candles below 1.2459, it's a pretty good indicator that bulls have got control of it again. All right. I don't exactly know why that's there now that I'm looking at it. Oh, I just put that out there. That was that 8-hour market structure level. You can see this right here is that 1 hour I was talking about that I had on the chart. 1.4054 traded into that. We have since left it in bullish fashion. There's nothing else to do unless you get a pullback on this thing. Trading sideways within this area would also be good for bulls. That'd be accumulation. Compound USD has slowed down a little bit, not much, not on a daily. So this was a super parabolic trend line. We can go ahead and get rid of that as we have broke down below it. Now, if I throw this level right here above this market structure swing high on a daily time frame, you can see you did get a daily closure above that yesterday. All right. So this was your level. Look how these daily candles operated around that level. That level is 451 spot 88. You can see all these wicks, wick, but no close. Boom. That's how price action works. That's how I want you guys to start to learn how to trade and make me very proud. As of right now, it looks like you're coming down here to retest this daily closing candle. That level is 489 spot 65. Let's watch on an hourly or 4 hour, whatever you want to watch, whatever your favorite time frame is to watch. Nothing lower than an hourly. If you get a 5-minute closure below that line, it doesn't count. That don't matter. Nothing below an hourly. All right. Hourly closes are important because they just are, because these things are traded on a minute by minute basis. Hourly closures, 4 hours, 8 hours, dailies, weeklies, those are the closures that matter because they dictate direction. So you're just trading back into this bearish candle right here for now. Let's see what happens. Hopefully, if this holds as support for a few hours, I may look to enter this long for a scalp. Let me go back there for a quick second. For a scalp aiming at this high, if I enter at this level or at this level here, it would be only a scalp aiming at this high. I would take a piece of the position off, 2/3 of the position, and I would leave the rest on to see if it wants to run or not. All right. But I would be exiting the bulk of the position at that high if it holds support here. Moving on, Uni was bullish. We're pulling back today. This is normal price action. So we're going to move that line. We're going to leave that line there because now we're on the daily time frame. It's better for me to show you on a daily time frame for the swing traders among us because there are more according to the poll I ran on my YouTube channel, and it destroyed it. It was like 76% were rather see swing trading strategies than scalping strategies. I am a scalping. I scalp. All right. I'm a day trader. I swing trade. I do it all. I enter scalp positions in hopes of turning them into swing trades. So I'm looking for those laser focused, laser guided areas to get long and hopefully turning it into a swing trade. But for you swing traders out there that like to look at daily and weekly charts, this is going to be an area right here. We did trade into it and we did leave that area. So essentially you could just take the closing of that bullish candle or go find an 8-hour market structure a little higher than that level. This is it. So just use that swing high right there. Right there. If you just use that swing high, that would be a traditional style support resistance level, just like that. Boom, 19.73. If you trade back into that level on an 8-hour time frame and you stay closing candles above it, look for it to move higher. Apologies. My voice is very cracky today. BAL USD balancer was extremely strong as well. Last week had a nice breakout. You broke out above this whatever wedge pattern. You broke out of that and you are coming back lower. So moving on, what I'm going to be watching on balancer is this level right here, because that is the last area that it couldn't break out of. And when it did break out of, it did not test it. That's pretty close. And with as little liquidity that's on these things, that's probably a valid test. So, but I still like it because that was your last swing high before you traded out of that area. All right. So that area could come into play as a new support level if price even trades down that low. There's a pretty good chance that if it's extremely bullish, it won't All right, there is a 1 hour market structure level at 42.898. It takes out all the liquidity resting below these candles here. So bulls may get re-involved right there. So look at those two areas. That's your daily level. That's your 1 hour level. All right. But either one of those could turn into a multi-day bullish swing trade. Doge USD looks like it is losing steam. Let me get on an 8 hour. I mean, it's not bearish by any stretch of the imagination, but you have made a lower market structure close to the downside. All right, this was the market structure low that we were watching. You got an 8 hour close below that. You traded back up into this candle here. Let me stretch it out. Traded back up into this candle here with this wick and was rejected. And now you've made a lower market structure swing low. And now you tested, and now you're making a trend line. So once you did this pattern right here, basically that let the bears know that the bulls were not going to be as aggressive anymore. In come the short sellers, and they are winning. You have a lower low right here. So looks like we're coming in to test that area right here. If you break and close a bearish 8 hour candle below 0.064790, you are heading lower. How low? Let's see. Possibly right here. 0.0572. You break below that swing low, like I said, on an 8 hour closing basis, which it's this area here. All right. Look for this area to come into play. That will also coincide nicely with that ascending trend line that I took on an 8 hour time frame, essentially tacking it from the low of this candle right here to this low. Boom. So right there is X marks the spot. If you lose that, then your next area to look is obviously going to be this line down here. But you may find support there also, because price likes to screw with people. People like to get long in front of these levels instead of waiting for these levels to validate themselves by waiting on daily and 8 hour candle closes. Doge Btc. So Doge Btc, you have broke down below the bullish trend line. That's okay. It's still bullish. You are still bullish until you lose this market structure all the way down here at 82 Satoshis. You lose that, you're going right back where you came from. All right. You did get a nice, stronger close up here, taking out this market structure. So this is still structured bullishly. This is the last area that wasn't tested, and I obviously can't find anything up here because it's already trading below it. So this is the next area that I will look for support to hold. That level is 123 Satoshis, 123 Satoshis, and that's only if it closes an 8 hour candle below this market structure swing low, and I'll delineate that by this line right here at 136. You get an 8 hour closure below that, you're heading here. And then we'll look to see what happens. When you start taking out higher, low market structure areas, when you start taking those out and making higher or lower highs and lower lows, that means the bears are in control. And you have to wait until the bulls show that they have control back, at the very least. So you can't just enter these things hoping. All right. ADA USD is, you got a nice test down here. This is an hourly market structure, I believe. This is a standard basic support and resistance line. Anytime you see a purple line on my chart, that's going to be your basic run-of-the-mill standard support and resistance area. There is nothing up here, obviously, because this is all-time highs on this asset, on this data feed. So I just put it there because it was catching a lot of highs. So that's going to be your area. But your first market structure level is this bearish candle. So price can trade all the way back down into that and still remain bullish. All right. We can go get smaller time frame charts. Yeah, it's this hour candle right there. So that's where price got caught right there. You can see it's not a new test. This candle tested that area first, then this test, and you got bullish. So the fact that you're coming back down to test, you may find support right there. All right. If not, look for this area to come into play first. Basically, what I want to see when I'm looking at these areas to look to initiate bullish positions. Let's say we'll use this area first. Let me just put a line here so I can delete it, but we'll use this level. Let's say this level is going to be the level that I want to see bullish participation. So I want to see no closes below that level. Basically, I want to see wicks through it and closes above it. And then I want to see a strong push with a close that takes out this market structure, which is the last swing lower high. All right. This was your, in a downtrending near-term market, this was your last swing high. I want to see an hourly candle break up above that, close above that. Then I would look to get long on a retest of this candle, or if this candle closes red, I would wait for a retest of that candle. And that's how I trade. That gives me more of a bias toward the long side again, because the bears, see, like right now, you could literally be testing this bearish candle right now. That can be exactly what's going on with this right here. So if you get a strong bullish candle above and you break out and you close above these areas right here, look for a retest, and then I will get long on this asset, looking for the high to be taken out. That would be my target for the near term. Swing trades, I mean, if you're swing trading this thing, basically you're just going to have to be bullish on its use case. This is a price action channel. I basically only trade technical analysis using price action and candlesticks, and that's how I get my bias. That's what I base my career upon. So I don't know how good ADA is, Cardano. I don't know how good its technology is. I don't know any of that. I am a trader, and I don't use fundamental information to base my trades upon. I use technical analysis. AAVA or AAVE, it's super bullish. Like all these things are just super bullish. It's insane. You're testing this 8-hour candle right there. Let me break it back out. So you're just basically testing this bearish candle. All right. So this is going, multiple tests before the turnaround is normal. If it's going to turn around here, this thing could set here for 3-4 sessions. You know what I'm saying? It could wait until tomorrow or even the following day to leave the area. Price action is generally slow. It's generally slow, which is why you shouldn't get in a hurry to do anything ever. It generally takes time to accumulate orders. So as long as you're closing candles above that level, look for higher prices on AAVE, USD, ADA, XBT. I thought I put link on here. All right, I did not, but I will. I have to show you link. All right, so ADA, just did that. No, XBT. Yeah, I just did that. All right, ETH versus Bitcoin. All right, so ETH is showing weakness versus Bitcoin. It's not really showing weakness versus the dollar. I thought I had that one on there too. Let me get that on there too, because I can't do this without doing ETH. It'd probably help if I actually did that. Just reading the thing. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Heath, can you share more about it takes time to accumulate orders? Yeah, Mark. Basically, orders is what moves markets. Buy orders and sell orders. Also, buy orders and sell orders in the form of limit orders or market orders for stops. Okay. These markets, price candlesticks is an advertisement piece. All right. This is just for advertisement. Back in the day, the floor traders, they didn't have candlesticks. They used bars and they drew the bars out themselves. A bar chart is essentially, you can just flip it to a bar chart. It's just a line with a tab on the left for the opening price and a tab on the right of the bar for the closing price. So it's basically the same thing you get with a candlestick, only the candlestick uses wicks for the high, wicks for the low, and then your body of the candle is your opening and close. I like the candles better, preferably myself, but yeah, candlesticks are a price advertising tool. That's all it is. It's exactly what it's built for. It creates patterns and stuff, and it gets people to accumulate orders. It's to generate liquidity, because the market needs liquidity to move. It needs orders to move. It needs money flowing into the market, exiting the market. That's what it needs in order to aggregate. See, a lot of people think I use the term momentum myself, but you have to understand something from a physics point of view. There's no such thing. Price cannot physically have momentum because in physics you need mass and speed and all that other thing and all that other, I'm not a physics teacher, but all that to have momentum. Price aggregates. It aggregates up and it aggregates down, and it can aggregate up hard or aggregate down hard, determining the aggressiveness of the buyers and sellers. So the market has a buy order and a sell order on every side of every trade. There has to be a buyer and there has to be a seller. So if you let that sink in for a second, you're like, well, then how does price move? If I buy 100 orders or 100 units and someone's selling 100 units, then how does price aggregate from that area? It's the aggressiveness of the buyers and the sellers, because you have liquidity providers within the market that are buying from one exchange to another exchange. What that does is that allows them to make a little bit of, like, literally 1/10 of a penny on each trade. But what that also does is that provides liquidity on the sell side and the buy side of the market. So there is an order on for every trade you take. Someone's taking the opposite side of the trade, but not on purpose. They're not doing it in spite of you. All right. They're doing it because they're trading a different way. They're trading a different style. So their orders are setting there specifically so that way you and I can participate in the market. So if the buyers are more aggressive than the sellers, not more buyers than sellers, there can never be more buyers or more sellers. There's always the same amount of orders. It's just the aggressiveness and how fast those orders are coming through. That's what makes these markets move. So when you have price on a level like this, you can either call it accumulation or distribution. And we don't know which is which until after price leaves that area. Unfortunately, we can't see the future. So when price is accumulating like this in a range, all right, it's finding buyers and sellers. It's finding buyers and sellers. It's advertising to people. Hey, I'm going higher. Do you want to sell? Hey, I'm going lower. Do you want to buy? It's advertising to people to get orders generated. Once it gets to a point to where the buyers or sellers get more aggressive, generally at the end of a range or something, then that's when the price will break out to the upside or fall out to the downside. It just depends on who's more aggressive. And I'm sorry if that was a long range winded explanation, but that's how it works. All right. That's how these markets move. They're not moving because there's more sellers up here. They're moving because there's sellers are more aggressive up here, because the buyers that bought down here are taking profits up here, and you have short sellers jumping in. So people get it all wrong when they talk about market makers are just stopping me out, blah, blah, blah. I hate that. It's just basically that gives you an ability to give an excuse as to the reason why you lost your trade. If you stop and think about that for a second, how ludicrous does that sound? I need an explanation as to why I lost the trade that I took at a bad spot. It's your fault. It's not the market maker's fault. The market maker doesn't care what you're doing. He has no qualms about you. The market maker is going to be here long after you are gone. All right. He's been making money since 1750. He knows how to do this. He's efficient at it. He don't care about you. So when I say wait for pullbacks, this is why. Like, if you bought down here, this is where you're selling. So that's why the bearish candles get bigger and more aggressive up here, is because not only are short sellers jumping in here, people that bought down here are selling up here. So you get a move and you have to let price aggregate until it finds more aggressive or buyers or sellers. So we know with data that buyers are more aggressive at 0.03681. Why do we know that? Because price aggregated up from that area. All right. Then sellers got more aggressive than buyers up here. So price aggregated back down. So basically, it's just playing this cat and mouse game between the buyers and sellers. And eventually one of them will win out. And it usually means the party on the other side of the trade gets stopped out, which is why I don't take range-bound trades. I look for the best, what I think is the most flawless entries that's they're known to man. All right, that's what I look for. I look for those retest entries that smokes liquidity. That way, I know if it's going to go higher there, it will. If it doesn't, I get stopped out and I move on. All right. So this thing is trading in a range currently. This is an 8-hour chart. This is ETH BTC, or ETH XBT, because that's what platform I got my funds on, don't do anything right here. I mean, as long as you're not able to close an 8-hour candle down there, it could be a buying entry. It could be. It absolutely could be. Absolutely. You don't even know if it's going to come back down there. So what I'll do is I'll throw a line right here on this bearish candle, because it's the last bearish candle before price traded away, right? So I want to see how price reacts when it gets to that area, 0.03747. If I'm getting shown on an hourly time frame that there's no closes down here, then I may take an entry on that, but I would only be looking to take out this high. You see what I'm saying? Because this right here is where all the stops are, resting above right here in this little pocket. So anybody got short up here, their stops are up here. That's why every swing high and every swing low has orders resting above and below them. Anybody that got short up here was not very smart, but as you can see, they got lucky. That's just luck. That's just luck. They just randomly sold right there for no reason other than, I think this is the high. Why? It's at all-time highs. Why do you think that's the high? Well, this isn't at all-time highs, but I'm just making a point. Anytime you're selling into strength, it's dangerous. This was a gamble. That was a winning gamble. It's not going to be profitable over a long period of time. Trust me. But as of right now, let this suss itself out. I would much rather have price come down and smoke everybody out here. Then I might look to get long, all right, targeting this area up here. Because if you break out above this area, if you stop all these people out, chances are you're going to move up to that level pretty quickly, all right? So that's what we're waiting on ETH XBT. And I did get ETH USD. Now, ETH USD looks beautiful, man. It's creating this wedge pattern. It did the same thing down here. It was just a broader, more wide pattern because, this was the new all-time high. So this one's not so much. This almost looks like, I don't know what this looks like. I mean, it's the same pattern. It's a wedge formation going to the upside. It generally has bearish. For pattern traders, it generally has bearish implications, but I don't know why. I've never got an explanation as to why that is like that, but it looks bullish to me. All right, this is your last area that it has been tested with these 3 wicks. So the actual size of the bullish candles aren't that big anymore. This one was a big one. This is a very important one because it broke above that last all-time high, and you can see how it closed really far. So when price came back down into that to test it, people front ran that, and that's the reason why it didn't make it all the way. But that was the original level. So you tested that and you left. That was a beautiful buying opportunity. In hindsight, I didn't take that entry either. I'm already in ETH way lower, way lower. I'm in ETH and Bitcoin. I have a nice size position of Bitcoin. I only buy Bitcoin and ETH too, really. I'm not looking to trade this. I'm looking to trade on against XBT, and that's basically because I'm bullish on Bitcoin. So I'll look to take short positions on these things, or even long positions on these if I think Bitcoin's going to pull back. I'm just trying to accumulate Satoshis to make the Bitcoin position bigger. So on ETHUSD, there's really nothing to do here. You did make and close above this market structure up here with this candle, and you have since came back. So if you want to take a long position here, you really don't have nothing to base your stop upon. All right. Like I would want price down here so that way I could base my stop with this, and that would make the risk reward greater to the upside. Whereas if you just buy it right here, you really have nothing to base because the downside risk is all the way down to this last swing low, because that's where the orders are until this swing low. So you need to wait for price to migrate lower. That could be what's happening. Let this thing move lower. Let buyers get reinitiated into this position. This is your market structure low that you don't want to see an 8-hour closure below. If you get an 8-hour closure below that, then hold off and see where it comes to maybe find lower high support or higher low support. Apologies, because it is bullish at 1633 spot 48. This level 1714 spot 34. All right, so we're just watching right now on ETH. There's no entry to take. Link. Let me pull up Link real quick. Both Link dollar and Link XBT. That's not going to work, is it? Let's try that one. That's it. All right, so link dollar's bullish. Just like most every one of these crypto pairs, crypto trading is going off the chain. Let me read the comments real quick. This is being helpful. Thank you. What's up, traders? South Brooklyn Mottos in the house. I hope I answered your question, Mark, about the accumulating and stuff. Rashid Karimi, that was good. How is aggression measured by buyers, sellers, and vice versa? No more orders coming in. Exactly. Or the aggressiveness of the other party's orders. So for instance, like if you're buying at an area, you can almost guarantee that someone else is too. You're not the only one buying at that level. Unfortunately, retail traders like to buy these areas because they're afraid they're going to miss something. When they first start trading their FOMO, they think that they're going to miss this, or that if it breaks out, it's going to be a huge move. This thing's already been running so far for so long. It's literally probably not going to have super huge moves, but it's cryptocurrency, man. I've seen these things do 40-50% moves in one day when you think that it's dead. I mean, you never know. So people are buying up here. People are literally buying Link USD right now. So the more aggressive orders would be the bigger size and the speed of which those orders are coming in. So if you have little itty bitty positions being bought, but huge positions being sold, then eventually the aggressiveness is going to be the scale. If you like have a picture of a scale in your head, is going to be weighed more towards the downside, and then price will aggregate lower and probably have a big aggregation and start smoking stops from bulls, which will continue to add selling pressure and vice versa. So that's how. Don't want to abuse, but think we would all benefit if you could give us a masterclass as how to use Fibonacci retracements to identify next tops. A fib retracement is this thing right here. So basically, this is a fib retrace tool. All right. So basically, when you're using a fib retrace tool, you just use a wick low or a wick high, or you could do it like myself, body to body. That's how I like to do it. Right. That's your retracement tool. That's for measuring retracements. And you notice how I have my 0.5 level marked in yellow because that's the midpoint. Basically, I only use this tool to measure daily candles to get midpoint ranges with them. So like, for instance, on this candle right here, tack it to that high, tack it to that low. And if you look right there, this yellow line is the exact midpoint of this entire price range for yesterday's price, Friday's price action. And look where that thing tested. Boom, right there. See you later, alligator. So that's the only reason I use that for, is for midpoints, because midpoints matter. They absolutely matter. Usually when you have a strong candle like this, the midpoint is the breakout area, and that's why it closed so strong. So just finding big, huge candles and putting a level right in the middle of that candle will almost give you perfect traditional support and resistance levels. Like right here, I can't see anything, but if I just go to the midpoint of this bearish candle, hit Alt H, boom. Well, my magnet tool's on, but if I just hit Alt H right there, boom, just look at how good that works. See, that's about the midpoint. I'm just eyeballing it, but look, you caught that and that, just the midpoint of that bearish candle, because it's all, that's just the way price action works. What about Dentacoin, DCN, 1,000 possible? Yeah, give me 1 second, Crypto Millionaire, and I will get on that for you. Let me just show you this real quick on Link XBT. All right, so 4-hour chart this morning in chat. Boom. We were trading into this area right here, right there. I put that chat or in the chat, letting everybody know that I was looking at this level right here. We traded down into that level. As soon as we retraced that level, we traded up on a smaller time frame chart right here. This is what I was looking at. See how little the liquidity is in this thing? It's disgusting, but I put an entry in there right here. I watched this. We had a pop up out of that area. On this pullback right here, I got long. Boom. And it's working out so far. I don't know what the position's up, but That's why I got long on that trade this morning. That's why I put it in there, because basically anybody that's looking in the community chat room, or not even in the community chat room, I like to hang around the crypto and the Forex and the scalping room, obviously, but I put this right in the crypto room, this level this morning when price was trading into that level, and I got long. So hopefully you guys did too. Basically, that's all I wanted to show you on this pair. We made, this is a price leg consolidation and another price leg. So that's two price legs made from once we consolidated up out of this high. Price leg to the downside, meaning you're taking out market structures, you consolidate, you made another price range. Sometimes what I've noticed in my trading years is usually if bulls are in control, they'll give the bears two price legs, 1, 2, and then that's when they'll re-enter. All right, it happens over and over and over again. I see it all the time. But sellers will get re-involved at these levels because they still think this is the end of the run for Link XBT. And it could be if Bitcoin starts to get bullish again. It's just, I'm only watching this. I seen two price legs down. Boom, I got that. And then I don't enter here because this could just be a retest to get short again. This right here, this push up, that's what's important for you to understand. This is price action analysis. This push up took out this swing high on a closing basis. So I'm looking for retests to get long into for continuation to the upside. That's what I was looking for right there. Once we got that, boom, then that tells me something. That data point is the buyers were more aggressive at this level. So if price pushes back into that level, I want to put a buy entry there and see what happens. I might be right, I might be wrong, but that's how you have to trade. That's trading. We don't know how our trades are going to work out, guys. I might make it look easy, like, oh my God, he said, God, he knows what no, it's not. I don't know anything. I have no clue what's going to happen after I enter my orders. I've just been doing it for so long that I see what I see. When I see it, I enter, whether I win, lose, or draw. That's the way it works. That was a buying opportunity for me, in my opinion. And obviously it's working out to be so far. All right, let me get back to DCN for Crypto Millionaire. What about Dentacoin, DCN, 1000x possible? All right, let's go see this DCN. I'm assuming that's going to be traded against the dollar. And it's only Tether on Huobi. Is this Huobi? All right, possible 1000x. Let me get a monthly chart going on here. That is ugly. That's a monthly chart. Let me take off auto. Ugh, man, that's brutal. Yeah. I mean, if I think that this monthly candle's opening price is going to be tested again, this isn't even actually this was probably like a flash, like some kind of crazy stuff that happened. This probably isn't even real. If it is, if that's where it ICO'd at, if you know that's where it ICO'd at and it immediately said, see ya, that's not good. That's never good. And the fact that the monthly candles are getting smaller, 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 yes, it's shorted to death. So possible 1000x opportunity. I'd say if you get a 3-day closing candle at least above this market structure over here, you're going to see a pretty good size move. Is it going to be 1000x? I don't know. But I do know you can bet your bottom dollar that there are shorters lining up. They're licking their chops right now to start shorting this thing. Plus, any firms that shorted this, because moves like this is generally firms shorting something that they don't believe is ever going to be anything. They sell every price, every pop in price. Sold, pop, sold, pop, sold. You see what I'm saying? So there are so many orders left in that order because they're still in the trade from when they shorted up here. They probably move their stops lower if they trade with stops. Some firms don't. So yeah, if you get a 3-day candle closure above that level is 141800 Satoshis. Yeah, you're gonna see a pretty nice move. You could see a move all the way up to this last market structure swing low right there. In fact, right there, because that's your last swing low before you broke out and you accumulated down here. They didn't even give it a chance to get back up there for a retest. So this is your last 3-day bullish candle. That level will be a level. It will get a selling bounce from there. 18 spot 722. You clear all that out. Yeah, you're going to move higher. just on a short squeeze fundamentals only, just because you're smoking stops. That's the only reason. Now, if you know something that I don't about this, like I don't know anything about it. I don't even know if Brandon knows anything about it. He knows a lot about these things. He probably does. I don't know what it is or what it does, but somebody's buying it, dude. Somebody's buying it. This was a beautiful retest down here. So look how big that tick was. Did you just see that? It was up here and it's down here. That's a 3-day candle, my man. Let me see this liquidity in this thing. Oh my gosh. Don't trade this, dude. Look, you see how these candles are? This is an hourly chart. That's a tick. There's no liquidity in this thing. So it's just, this was a tick. Tick. 1 hourly tick. That's all it was. That means there might have been one order or 2 orders came in. Boom, tick, 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 tick. So it's very, very illiquid, meaning if you have a stop, say resting below this candle, and you bought it like here, this thing can have a flash crash in a matter of a second and shoot through your stop and cause slippage. And you might not get filled until down here because there's no liquidity at the area of which you put your order to get filled. Now, it's supposed to be filled as a market order, and that's the way these things are supposed to work. But when you trade liquidity like this thin, you're asking for trouble. So yeah, it could absolutely move 1000x to the upside or a downside just because there's no orders in there. Let someone throw down $100 million buy position on this thing and it'll go crazy, crazy. Rashid, Greg F. Happy Saturday, Heath. Happy Saturday, Greg F. Rainy here. Love the analysis. Thank you, sir. It's not rainy. Not where I'm at. It's nice and sunny. Waka Chaka. Hi, Heath. Billy. Loving the stream so far. Let me put it up on the stream. Loving the stream so far. How back on the timeline should one reference support and resistance levels? Great question, Billy. All right, let's use Bitcoin, for instance, because Bitcoin respects traditional support and resistance levels. Absolutely, it does. So I'm not going to use anything since the breakout. I want to go back in time. So I'm on a daily chart. All right. You can clearly see that if I shoot a line out right there, I don't even have to be perfect. I understand that you guys can't really see it on mobile. I'll stretch it out for you. I just basically have my cursor right here for no reason other than that was a swing high. You can see that there are reactions at those areas. I mean, this was a big price. That's where sellers are engaged. All right. And then even going over here before the breakout, you retested the level, you drew down, and then you broke out and you traded back down into it. Now, this is a little bit lower of a test, but when you traded out of it, look right there. Boom, boom, you found your support and you're off to the races. So you can look back as far as you want. All right. You can look back as far as you want. I am never going to tell you guys that the way that you trade is wrong or the way that I trade is right. All right. I don't know if that works. I mean, I can clearly just look at the price and see that it reacts to those levels. You know what I mean? I'm of the camp because I have a more narrow-minded, shorter time frame when I'm viewing the markets, that the orders are coming in every second of every minute of every day. And I think when I'm trading like that the most relevant structures and levels are going to be where I'm basing my trades upon. Now, especially when you're in all-time highs, you don't have any support, traditional support and resistance levels. I mean, you could find that level right there. You could use that level as a traditional style support and resistance simply because you've wicked up into it several times. All right. And you can also see that when we finally broke out at 37,965 level, you tested that flawlessly and you left. So they do work. They absolutely work. But I can almost bet you $100 bill that I can go into a 5-minute time frame on this candle on this day and find the candle that caught that wick. Does that make sense to you? So I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It absolutely works. You can use those levels and you can form, if you can form a strategy around it to become profitable doing it, man, they work. You know what I mean? They're beautiful. I throw them on the charts every now and then. They're always purple. If you see a purple line on my chart that stretches from out of sight to out of sight, That's just a traditional style support resistance line. But yeah, I'm looking for near-term price and how price reacts around those levels, because that's what's being formed in the market at that specific time. Like at this run up, all these swing lows and swing highs became important levels. The reason this move was so big was because so many stops was above this level, so many buy stops. So the higher buyers up here, and especially right here because it was all-time high. So whoever bought it down here created that big run, and then all these stops got triggered and FOMO buyers were buying, and you got a big, strong closing bullish candle. And that midpoint of that price has not been tested yet. So I've already got on my XBT chart essentially the levels that I'm going to be watching, but I could throw this level on this bullish candle right here just for the simple fact that the midpoint of it has not been tested. That price is 42,403 spot 51. If you want to throw a line on your chart at 42,403 spot 51, that'll probably be an area where price will have a reaction. It will probably bounce there even. I don't know how big of a bounce you will get, but I bet it's a tradable bounce anyway. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Great to get you live. BNT entry for Jason Connor. BNT entry. Let's go check it out. Let's do this. Coinbase. This is rather new, so we will look at it for you. All right, so first thing I see right off the rip is this bearish candle. So obviously I'm going to put a line right there, boom, because that level will come into play sooner or later, and that's going to be 2.8255. Now, as long as the bulls are in firm control of it, I don't ever see it coming back into play. But if the bears regain control of the market, they will. Excuse me, I did not mean to burp into the microphone. How professional. Come on, TradingView. There. That's your first level to watch, my man. 3.183700. All right. So far, you took out this swing low right here. It's a 4-hour structure, and you closed the 4-hour candle below it. All right. You went back up into it to test it, and you're still currently testing it. If you fail here and you roll over, look for this price first, 3.183700. Look for that to get a bounce from. You will get a bounce there, possibly. You know what I mean? At least a small one. Price trades down into it. It'll trade up a little bit because there's so many orders setting right there. They're doing the same thing you are. They're not going to buy it up here. That's smart. You don't want to, because this could be turning around. Now, I could have found support right here. You know what I'm saying? It absolutely could have. And this could keep going higher. I don't have a crystal ball. But if price rolls over and comes back here, I'll watch this first, this level first. And if you can't close the 4-hour candle below that level, that's a good signal. That's a good signal. Just make sure you put your stop below that candle, because that's the candle you'll be basing your trade upon. So if you're closing a candle below that, well, you don't want to put your stop that low. Maybe this low here. I like to watch the candle that I'm looking for. If price takes out, generally, if price takes out my candle, the low of my candle, I'm bouncing, because that's not good. That's never good if that's happening. But I have seen it find support lower and take off without me too. So this is just the way I trade, because it's the way that works for me. The entry. Let me read the comment section. I lost the music. Hi, can I get an update on NEOUSD you've analyzed before? Also, I like others. If you can comment whether or not you think it's tradable. Thank you. Absolutely. Let me take a look at that, Kelvin. I've just beat the crap out of my mic in the process as well. NEOUSD. You want Finex, Bittrex, Binance? Let's use Finex. I think Finex was the better looking one since I got lines down there. Well, I can tell you one thing. It's obviously cleared the levels that I had put on, or it never came back to test them. Either or. This thing is bullish. It's not. Look at that. And I don't really see, maybe if I go into a smaller time frame, we can see what was being tested here. Just that high. That high. I don't like it when they do testing of highs, but they do. So for whatever reason, it's that high. So since that's the high, I'd use that last bearish candle right there. Right there. I like that level if you ever come back down there. Don't know if you will. This was a long consolidation up here at highs. So it's only natural that you have broken out. I don't know how much liquidity is in this thing either. There's not much liquidity in the crypto space because it's new, relatively new. But it will get bigger, trust me. Once these things get some more legitimacy under them, you know what I mean? Firms start coming into these, you're going to see a lot of liquidity. It's going to be a lot better because then the outsized moves like this can get even bigger. But yeah, as far as an entry goes, your first level to watch is going to be this 4 hour or this 1 hour structure right here, 38.54. All right. That's going to be your first area. It's going to be a little bit lower than this high and this swing high, the bodies of these swing high here. But at the same time, that's your last hourly candle. Does this hourly candle right here hold as support? It may. It may. But I would not enter up there. I would need a pullback down to here, and I would need bulls to show me that they are buying it up there. Now, there's a lot of liquidity just below that level. So if you get a spike down there, if you do smoke that liquidity, use this level right here at 33.53. All right, because you will have smoked all that liquidity. And as far as to this candle here, was never tested. That did not test it. These never tested. So if price catches, if the sellers regain control of it, it's okay. Don't fret it. If you start losing this area, then you can start worrying, because then this level would come into play essentially, because once again, this liquidity is under these lows. So those are my two buying entry areas where I would look to buy. All right. Not this one. There's no liquidity. This thing can trade down into this level and not stop anybody out except for anybody that got long on this candle. And this is an hourly time frame, so then there's nothing there. But it is extremely bullish. All right, extremely bullish. This was the play right here. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to do a video to show you guys how to find these little plays like this, like on a daily time frame against the dollar especially. Let me go over here to my favorite. Let me just find some. Let me just bear with me for a second. Let me find something that is not extremely bullish. Just to show you what I'm talking about. Well, it doesn't look like I'm gonna find it. Everything's extremely bullish. Gotta love cryptocurrencies, baby. Look at this. Everything's bullish. Everything's red today, but everything is so bullish. All right, so I'm not gonna be able to do it. Everything. Even Bitcoin, even this is going, what? BCH, Dashes, look at Dash. Oh. All right, let me just show you. I'll just use this pair with using moving averages. It works on cryptos. I don't know why, but it does. All right. I got a ton of moving averages on here. They're basically the majors. The white's a 10 simple, the yellow's a 21 EMA, green 50 EMA, blue 100 EMA, purple 200 EMA. The fat red line is a 200 simple, and this little red line is a 377. But right here, like, look at this. When price took out the moving averages and consolidated above them, you traded back down into them. That's an entry. That's an entry. But only use this on a daily time frame, especially because all the other moving averages below price, that's a rule you can instate as a new trader. If every moving average is below price, I want to buy entries on the 21 EMA. I just have the 10 simple up there. You could use the 10 EMA. The 21 EMA is beautiful. It's perfect. Look at that. And it does it. It wouldn't have worked here. Obviously, you're gonna find flaws, but for trending environments, which is if you're trying to swing trade, you want to trade the trending environments, obviously. And we never know if something's going to be choppy or trendy. But when stuff is as bullish as this, there's not much you can do. This thing literally had almost a 300% move from there. Boom. So, and it's almost like the way these things are moving, it's almost like they're just picking random alts and just blast off. I mean, look at the size of that daily candle on Ethereum Classic, nonetheless. I mean, Ethereum Classic was trading down here. You have one last daily bearish candle, and then look at the size of that daily. Boom! Yeah, that'd be nice. EOS. Remember EOS? Remember me complaining and griping to all y'all? You can't do anything until you get a daily closure below 2.311 or a daily closure above 3.6, right? Why? Because it was range bound. Now you got a daily close out of that level or retest of that level. See ya. That's how you trade those range breaks. I mean, that was the range. That's your range. That's your range. Price was trading within that range. Can't do nothing till you get out of it. It's a nice move, man. EOS, Litecoin did the same thing. It's having a super nice bullish day today. Bitcoin, though, not happening. But Litecoin, EOS, Ethereum Classic, Algorand's not bullish today, but look at what it did yesterday. Craziness. I mean, they're just going crazy, guys. Litecoin USD, y'all. God, I just had it pulled up there. So let me see what I had there. Right here, that was just a market structure swing high on an 8-hour time frame. You can see you tested it flawlessly on this bullish push, but then your next, you got to close above, close below. So it traded in a range there, created a triangle or wedge pattern, almost a perfect triangle, and then broke out. So you can't do nothing. And let me get rid of these lines. Can't do nothing, man, until it comes. Come on. Thank you. Can't do nothing until you get a lower test. This was that just 2 sessions ago this morning. Yeah, there's really nothing to do. That's your all-time high, or your old high, not all-time high. Apologies. The range high, that last range high. So put you a line right there and see what happens if price trades back down into that area. Closer, more near term, if you're looking for a scalp entry, look to see what happens at 199.57. All right, that's your last bearish candle for price consolidated, took out of there. So if you get a test back of that area, then see what happens. I wouldn't just jump off my pants to get long on that level simply because you just left that area. So if it comes back immediately, it's not going to be so swell. Here's you an hourly candle right there. See what happens on that level first. Right there, 214.30. So if you just come down here and you find support, you could test. Measured move would put you right about 240. All right, right about 240. But that's just for scalping, looking for the old high to be busted. Also, that's also why trends continue, guys. Why we tell you to trade the trend. That's the reason why trends continue, because it's easier to smoke the liquidity up here than it is to smoke the liquidity down here, because you got to almost cause a complete market reversal to get to this liquidity down here, when you could just keep buying, because that's where every other order's coming in. You break above this high, you smoke that liquidity, you get a bigger move higher, and then you consolidate, you retest that area, buyers reinitiate the position, and then smoke the liquidity above this high. All right, and then you get the same thing, retest that area, buyers reengage, then you smoke the liquidity above that. That's how come markets continue higher or lower, which is why it's best to look for entries in the direction of the trend. All right, you're going to hear me say that. As long as you listen to my videos, as long as you're here getting this analysis from me, you're always going to hear me say, look for bullish entries on a bullish asset, because that's the direction of the trend. Now, over here, the direction of the trend was down, right? So it's easier to smoke liquidity resting below the lows than it is to reverse the market and take it back up. So you can see that liquidity never got touched. So you can bet there's still orders up there, even now to this day. So you smoked that liquidity, got a strong move down, retest, sellers reinitiated positions, looking for continuation to smoke the liquidity below that low. Boom. All right. Always follow the trend, guys. Always. It's just the best way to trade. It's the safest, the easiest way to trade, and the most profitable way. Did I look at Neo USD? I can't even remember. I believe I did, but I'll just go look at it real quick. That's pathetic. My brain works like a not good. Come on, Heath. Where are you at? Yeah, I got you levels. There you go. Yeah, Neo's good. These are the three areas I look to initiate swing trading positions to the upside. Look for bullish entries as long as you're trading above that trend line. All right. On Neo, let me see if anybody else got anything. How would you use a stop loss for Bitcoin if using leverage? All right. I'm going to be honest with you, Waka Chaka. I just basically I was using Coinbase because I'm an FX and a stock and options trader. All right. I just got into cryptos a couple years ago, and I basically did a buy and hold long strategies only on Coinbase data exchange. I put in a request to be able to trade with margin on that exchange, and I've never gotten it. So I decided the other day to move to Kraken to start learning it. It is completely different than the way that I trade, the way that Forex trades, because in Forex with Oanda and TradingView, I can simply just find a level and mark that my stop loss. It seems like with cryptos, they want you, let me just use the platform that I'm learning currently, which is Kraken. So when I initiate a position on there, it gives me like 4 options. Do I want to use 25% of my position all the way to 100? So 25, 50, 75, 100. All right, that dictates the size of the position. And I just learned all of this. And then the leverage is, I guess you can go up to 5 on some assets. So if you jack that baby up to 100 and then you jack that baby up to 5, then basically in order to put a stop loss, you have to put a risk percent. Like what percent do you want to risk of your initial position? And that will dictate your stop loss. Now, I haven't found a tool yet to easily calculate that position, because basically what I want to do when I'm looking at a chart, I want to find a swing low. See, that price right there is at 2036. So I want to put a stop at 1958. And then I want the computer, because I'm lazy like that, to automatically calculate that position size and stop loss for me. I guess Kraken doesn't do that yet. So yeah, it's a bit difficult. You just basically have to decide how big of the position you want to risk, and then play with your limit orders to see if you can get limit orders below there. And something should give you an idea as to how much you're losing or going to lose if that area is triggered. The best way to do it is to just don't trade leveraged yet until you get the hang of that platform. Once I will have the hang of the platform, I'll have it within a couple weeks. I'll be able to tell you the exact answer of the way to do that with Kraken. I don't know about any other platforms. All right. Hope that helps. What's up, Brandon? Tom telling me I did. Can we have a look at ZIL USD? Great project. In my humble opinion, thanks for these analysis. Absolutely. Let me go get it. ZIL. I was looking at ZIL this morning also, but I was looking at it on Kraken. No problem. I got you, Walk Chalk. All right, so ZIL, it's a great project, you said. I'm assuming you understand the fundamentals of it. I do not. It is bullish. Yeah. Let me get off this calculated by TradingView garbage. I don't even know what that means. Calculated by trading. Come on, man. You go with Finex. I just hate the wicks. Yeah, it's extremely bullish. You just made a new all-time high on this platform, or on this data feed, which is Binance. Yep, you're not the only one that thinks it's a good project. I can tell you that. Right now, you're getting ready to close. You got 15 days on the monthly to close above this all-time high. It's extremely bullish on a daily. I mean, if you throw all your moving averages on there, you'll see that. I mean, you never even got a daily closure below the 50 EMA. Extremely, extremely bullish. No daily close below the 50. That's bullish as bullish can get. That's one thing. I mean, you don't really want to use momentum oscillators because they're going to be overbought. I mean, if it closes here or lower today, because this is a daily chart, if it closes here or lower today, you're going to print bearish divergence. I don't even care about bearish divergence anymore. I used to when I was first starting out, but I kept losing money. But I do let people know about it when it prints. But I like the weekly and monthly bearish divergence. But like, for instance, something like Tesla, it's been printing bearish divergence on a weekly and forever, and it's still just going. So just trade in the position of the trend or in the direction of the trend. Let's find you an order to look, or find you an area to look to possibly get long. All right, I wouldn't want to do it right up here, possibly right here. All right, 0.1143. If price comes back down into that area and gets you a retest that area, see what happens. If you're not able to close a 4-hour candle below it, then you're possibly going to head higher. I mean, you could use this candle just to kind of watch, but just make sure that you understand you don't want to look for, it's pretty to look for 1,000R returns, but your actual risk to reward, if you took a trade based upon this bearish candle, all right, would be the low. That low would be your stop, all right? And then you would have a better than 2 to 1 just back to the high. So the bullish position there could come into play. So that, you see how I just did that, how I made it look a little bit more attractive for myself. Other traders do that as well. So you put your risk parameter right here. Say you want to take an entry when you get a trade away from that level to get a 2 to 1 trade, be right below the high. So yeah, if you hold support right here at 128.75000, that could be a trade idea. Absolutely. On a 4-hour basis. If you close a 4-hour candle below that area, then you're coming down here at 1143000. All right, I didn't mean to move that. So yeah, those are your first 2 areas to look for bullish entries on ZIL. USD. Binance is easier for trading with leverage. Yeah, I don't know anything about Binance, Elias. I have to be honest with you. I live in America, and I don't do the VPN stuff because you can really get hurt bad. If the United States of America government finds out you're trading over on Binance with a VPN, they're going to freeze your funds. Then they're probably going to freeze your other funds, and until they have an investigation, and you may go to jail. So that's why I don't do it. And I don't suggest anybody does it either. Would you please look at GERT, GRT? Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. You guys got me for as long as you want me. I have nothing else to do. How far are we into this? So we're an hour and 17 minutes into it. Let me go ahead and see what you got. Looks like we analyzed this the other day. It looks like we were looking for that level right there. Were we not? You got that? Boom. Yeah, there's nothing to do. You had a massive explosion, but there's a level there. So I know I looked at it for somebody the other day. That's how it works, guys. There's your big bearish engulfing, freaking everybody out. Oh my God, it's a bearish engulfing. We're all going to die. Smart people were like, nah, dude, thank you. I will take it. There's no way to know something like that is ever going to happen. I mean, yes, whoever took that trade looks like the best trader alive. There's no way to know that's going to happen. No way to know. That just gives you good areas to look for risk to reward opportunities. That sums up my whole strategy using bearish candles. It gives you an area to look for a decent risk to reward opportunity. All right, let's go find an hourly because nothing is bearish on the 4-hour. Here's your last one, untested level right there. I keep forgetting I have to keep changing that. I don't like dojis, but it is your last bearish candle. All right. Watch for 1.679. This level right here. You'll smoke that liquidity. So see if you find support there. Next area to look. Let me get rid of this line, but that takes away most of that bullish breakout. That's a big move, massive move in conjunction with the size of these candles. Yeah, it's a massive move. So there's a pretty good chance price won't even get down there. So look at this one first. Right here. All right, 1.9615,000. I don't even know how to say that number. We'll just call it 1961. 1.9615. Right here. See what happens when price gets here. If you drop below that on an hourly closing basis, look for this level right here, 1.6769. All right. And then your next area is down here. But like I said, at that point, you will have essentially, well, not the whole bullish move, but you have wiped out a lot of it. And at that point, you have to ask yourself, is something else going on? You know what I'm saying? For that whole move to be wiped out all the way back down to this, I don't know if I'd want to look for bullish entries. I mean, I would if as long as price was holding above that level. So we'll throw it on the chart anyways. All right, that level is 1.1005. Now, like I said, these would be my first initial areas to look for long entries. I would want to see obvious price turning around, showing me bullish reactions. Remember, on an hourly chart, you want to see those. You want to see, like, on a retest, you want to see, and even here it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? So even there, I would have been faked out. But this would have been a bullish entry because we cleared that swing high. And then on this retest, I would have got long and then probably would have been stopped out almost immediately 3 hours later. So it doesn't always work, but you get the gist. I'm just trying to help you guys find areas to look, see what happens, and go from there. And I'd say if you watch enough of my videos, you'll have my whole strategy. So there's GERT USD. Let's go look at GRT Btc. See what it's doing against the Bitcoin. Same thing. Looks exactly identical. Yep, it's extremely bullish. Just follow the dollar pairing and don't even worry about this. Because if you're trading GRT, I'm assuming you're probably trading Bitcoin as well. So look for the dollar pairings. While Bitcoin's going up, it's not really good to trade against the Bitcoin with these other pairs. Unless, I mean, this thing is clearly stronger than Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin's doing this, and that's doing that. So Rudy Ratloss. Hey, your DXY analysis was perfect yesterday. Retest. Nice. Greetings from Germany. Welcome. It's got to be late where you are. I appreciate that. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to do the FX analysis for everybody. The JXY, the Japanese yen index, pretty much did what we were looking for it to do as well. I got long on pound yen. I will show you all of that tomorrow. I am still long pound yen and euro dollar. Can you have a look at VET, please, for what? I can't even say it. Wakachaka. Sorry, I'm not trying to brutalize your name. Apologies. VET USD or VET BTC. We'll look at VET USD first. What's the reef hype about? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Smile. You have to hit me up in Discord. Oh, I did it again. Calculated by TradingView. We don't like it. USD. Let's go Finex. It's on an hourly. Get off that. VeChain. Yeah. A lot of consolidation. And I'm assuming, dude, that this is another thing that lets me know that there are funds in this stuff, guys, because everything looks almost the same. So there's a lot of big money in a few of these things, and that's why they look almost identical. The price action is almost identical. There's really nothing to do. You had a big explosion at the middle of last week. Say Wednesday, you took out this swing high here, and then Friday, Thursday, it's been nothing but bullish. Today, you're having a pullback. So let's go see where you're pulling back to. There's nothing on a 4 hour, nothing on a 1 hour. Oh, it's so brutally illiquid. There's your pullback area right there on a 15-minute time frame. But it is brutally illiquid. And this is a dollar. This is versus the dollar right there. See that bearish 15-minute candle? Boom. Perfect test. Pump up out of that area. So this is also why I do it like that, because even though if I'm just trying to catch a bounce, I'm trying to catch a bounce in the bullish direction. So more chances I have of it going higher than lower, instead of trying to sell it up here or sell it, like say sell this candle against that bearish candle. No way, bro. You'll get smoked every time. It does look like the sellers are taking over on a smaller time frame, but it's only normal. I mean, it's had a massive push up in the last few days. So give it a chance to accumulate. That's the first area. Let me find an hourly structure below that. This is your second area, and they're so close together. I guess they're not that close together. I'll put this one on the chart too. So those are your first three areas to watch. That's near-term price today or tomorrow. By Monday, you could be completely beyond that, but I doubt it. I would assume you're either going to try to go range bound at one of these two levels first. We'll see. All right. First level is 495.6200. Second one's 459.2400. Third level 407.9000. Could you check the cred DCR for a long entry, please? All right, Mr. Zimmy Zappa, this is not financial advice, guys. If you take positions on what you hear on this channel, you have to understand that it's not financial advice. All right, but I will go look. DCR. I don't know what it is. I've never traded it. Decora. Yeah, you call it Decored. Looks like a stock. Another one of those. Come on. I don't know if this is what you want. It's Decora. You called it Decored. But if this is it, it's extremely bullish. Let me see what a monthly looks like. So it's not, I mean, it is breaking out. It looks like you're moving higher. So, all right. This is a weekly. So this is your weekly range till you get a breakout right there. The bottom of this one, because it's the lowest one right there. So you can go intraday. Oh my God, this is a daily chart. See the liquidity? That's a tick. That means there was literally one tick that day. Tick, tick, tick. You can get really hurt trading these things, guys. Just make sure you understand that. As it takes is a big, massive order to cause a huge spike. Now, the chances are the spike will come back, but where do you get filled in all that slippage? That's the part that can hurt you. When the reason you trade a very thick liquid market is because there's orders basically at every price point to the upside and to the downside for miles and miles. So meaning there's less chance for slippage because eventually the price is going to, like, just picture it like a bowling ball falling through roofs, breaking a hole through the ceiling, breaking a hole through a roof. It'll start to slow down. That's what price points does at those areas. That's why the spikes are less aggressive. So, but in something like this, your next roof might be 26 exactly, and then 20 exactly, and then 15. You see what I'm saying? So you could spike literally down to there and then come all the way back up. Now, with respect to this chart, it has never done that. Not that I can see. All right. So I'm just wanting you to understand that it can happen. It hasn't, but it can. So yeah, as long as look $30 even. As long as you're holding that on a daily close, it'd be a good spot to look to get long. If you reject from here, it's okay, because then you're just probably going to trade range bound until whoever wins. I don't even know if that's what you want to look at. So hopefully that helps. I literally just looked at VET. I will look at it again. Maybe. No, I'm sorry. That's after his. See, this thing's hard to read, guys. Just bear with me. The comments, it's very hard for me to read them. They're like glitchy. Do you use Uniswap, or is that too nerdy for you, Mr. Smile? Hang on. Let me go back above here, and I will answer your question, because I see Harry D wants SNX USD. So let me go look at that real quick. No, it's not too nerdy. I mean, I don't use it yet. I don't. I know Brandon and them are probably using it. SNX USD. This thing is bullish as, yeah. I didn't see which. That's Coinbase. Let's go see what it looks like on Finex. No. So Finex doesn't have it. Gemini has it. Not much more data. It's bullish, man. Yeah, it's bullish. Since it's been out on the market, it's been getting bought up. All right, so you're consolidating, which is good. This would be my first area to look for support, test and hold. 21 spot 589600. Shoot. Get back over there. It's a doji. I hate dojis, but it is what it is. This one was tested. This one was tested. So I don't know if you'll trade back down there, but you may. Let me see if there's something in this. Nothing. No, that's your last hourly one too. So if price comes back down there, it's probably going to test that first. 21,589,600. And then this is all consolidated. I like the way it's trading. It's breaking out, consolidating. So I would just watch this last market structure on an hourly candle basis, bro. If you can't get an hourly closure below 25.3770, it might be heading higher already because it's been consolidating and it's been consolidating up. Now, this was a big spike down. So just let this, I'm not saying take a trade right here. Just watch this area. All right. Because you did get a lower close. You did breach and close below that area. It's not as liquid as other things. So it's kind of hard to basically, you did get a closure below it because this candle opened below it. So that is a valid close on the hourly. So yeah, watch this level down here, 21.5896. It not my name. No worries. All right, appreciate it. I know it's not your name. It's just, it's funny. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to SNX USD. I think that's what I just looked at. I don't know what the reef hype is. No, I don't use Uniswap Smiles. Like I said, I talked to Brandon. I think he does. Brandon and Alan. Yo, Heath, I'm in the past. Just seen you took a Link BTC long on a retest trend line. Yeah, I sure did, Stefano. Thanks, dude. It's really helpful seeing how you look for entries. What kind of bearish candles are you looking for? Ones without an upper wick? No, just a bearish candle, Dave. Just a bearish candle. The last bearish candle before price trades away. Like on a daily, I can explain this a little better. Like this bearish candle right here. That would be an area on a daily time frame. Like if I was looking for price to roll over and wait for it to come all the way back down here, this level, because it's the opening price of the bearish candle, the last bearish candle before price traded away, because that tells you something. The reason it tells you something is they were buying this candle. All right. The whole time this candle was moving down, whoever was buying it was buying it. So since price immediately left that area, that's just an area where I will look for price to roll back into at some point in time. And if they bought it here once before, there might be a pretty good chance that they buy it there again. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Just check out the rest of the videos. They will absolutely help you out. Yep. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all for coming. Tomorrow evening around 5 o'clock. I know some of you, well, it's almost 5 o'clock now. So yeah, tomorrow, 5 o'clock, do the FX weekly outlook. We'll discuss the 2 trades that I took 3 trades last week, but we'll discuss those and trades that I'm looking for the week to come. So you guys have a great rest of your night. For the rest of you that are C.T.M, I will see you in the chat. Have a happy day and make sure you stay trading safe, smart, happy trading.